All right. Okay. So I asked you to try these while we wait. We were going to try 20% of 560 Rand. And we were going to try 44% of 4,400 sheep. Okay. So let's see. Hands up if you think you've got the answer. Who thinks that they've got the answer? So if your hand is up, I'm going to ask you. Okay, Kyle's hand is up. Kyle, do you want to do the first one for us?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay, let me find my pen. Oh, lost my pen. Okay, Kyle, take it away.
I did it in division. The first one.
Okay.
I said 20 divided by 560.
Okay.
And I got the answer of 28.
And you got 28.
Yes, so 6. Yes.
Okay. And so do you say that 20% of 560 Rand is 28 Rand? Is that your answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's a really good try. Okay, you've got some of the idea right, but we're going to have a look quickly at how we need to do it. Okay, so we can use our calculators for this, or we can use our pencil and paper. Okay, so 20% means 20
over 100.
Over 100, thank you. Okay, and we're going to times it by 560 over 1. Okay. There's somebody who's unmuted. Please mute yourself. Someone who's got some hectic music going on in the background. Thank you. All right. Now we can use our calculator if we want. So remember, we can multiply our tops together. So we're going to multiply our numerators. Okay. And 20 times 560, I'm going to work it out on my calculator. So 20 times 560 is 1,000. Oh, sorry, it's 11,200. Thank you. Let's stay muted. Over 100. And then when we divide 11,200 by 100, we can cross off those two zeros and cross off those two zeros. And we're left with 112 Rand. Okay, so 20% of 560, what that means is 20 over 100 times by 560. Okay, so when you work it out on your calculator, you work out your numerators times together over your denominator. Okay, so it's numerators multiplied together over your denominators multiplied together. All right, so we're going to try the second one, and I think Boipelo wanted to give the second one a shot. She's jumping up and down. So Boipelo, let's see how we do the second one.
Okay, so since 44 and it's a percent, I did 44 over 100.
Okay.
Times, since the off is a times, I said times.
Okay. Lesejo, mute, please. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, which is 4,400.
4,400 over 1. Good. Okay.
Yes. So then
perfect.
I times my top numbers together, which I got 9036. 9036 with 2 zeros.
Right. That number, when we say that number, it is 193,600.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 193,600. Okay.
Over 100. and then I divided the top number and the bottom number.
Okay.
Which I got 9036.
So 1,936.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1,936.
Ma'am, I don't
over one.
understand.
Okay, so who's not understanding? You need to give me a name. Who's not understanding? Someone just said, I don't understand, but I don't know who you are. 'Cause I can't. Okay, what is your name?
Lesedi Thokwane.
Okay, all right. So, Lesedi, when we are working this out, when we're doing an of sum, of always means times. Okay, so of means times, and 44% means 44 over 100. Percentage means 100. Okay, so percent is always out of 100. So it's 44 out of 100 of 4,400 sheep. So if I've got 4,400 sheep and I want 44% of them, for every 100 sheep that I group, I'm going to have 44 taken out. Okay, all right, Popelo, enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 44 over 100 times the number of sheep I've got. Okay, and if you're not sure on how to do this, we have covered this a few lessons ago. So if you are new and this is all Greek to you and you're going, what is Teacher Rebecca and Popelo and all these other children talking about? I don't understand it. Don't stress. You can go back onto the Watobe website and you can look for the lesson from last week, Wednesday. Okay, we did this last week, Wednesday, I think, and you can do the percentage ones from last week, Wednesday. Okay, once you get the hang of it, it's really, really, really straightforward. Okay, and the best thing is using your calculator because then you're going to make mistakes with the numbers. All right. Maria, your hand is up. Have you got a question?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I wanted to answer.
Okay, well then take your hand down so long then. And
Yes,
Tertia, have you
ma'am.
got a question, Bug? No, Tertia's hands down as well. Okay, so these, I'm not going to do a huge amount of time on this now because we have done a couple of lessons on this. I don't want to spend too much time on this now. But if you are struggling with this, then go and look on the website and the lesson from 2 weeks ago or from last week, Wednesday, will be up. And you can have a look and see how we did the percentages then. Okay. So don't be confused for too long. But I want to move on to decimals. So we're going to revise this. We started with this on Monday. So we're going to have a quick look at adding and subtracting decimals. So what I would like you to do is for the next, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, I want you to work these two out for me. Okay. I'm going to remind you though, one very important thing. When we only have adding and subtracting, how do we work? Asimashle, when we're going adding and subtracting, how do we work? Asimashle is gone. Claudie?
Ma'am, I think we do partners.
And when there's only addition and subtraction left, then we go
From right
left to right. Okay, so we first do the adding, then we do the subtracting. Okay, all right, 2 different problems. Off you go, we've got 3 minutes. And then I'm going to see who's ready.
Ma'am,
Yes?
ma'am, what if you don't have a calculator in there?
You're not using a calculator for these ones.
Okay.
Yep, these ones you're doing column method. So you're going to write it like a column like we used to in the lower grades when we weren't allowed a calculator. So when you're finished, you can type done, but don't say done. Okay, we're going to let everybody give everybody a chance to be finished without pressure. If you don't know how to use column method, then remember you use whichever method you do when you're adding and subtracting. Okay, so if you don't know column method, then you're going to use whatever method you use at school.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
can I do B?
Nope, you've already done one tonight.
Ah, but ma'am,
Nope, no, but ma'am. I love how eager you are, boy pillow. I absolutely love that.
but ma'am,
Give somebody else a chance. There's
Okay.
lots of guys in the lesson. Okay.
okay,
So we're gonna give
Yes,
lots more people a chance.
okay.
Okay. Okay, stop asking me if you can do A or you can do B. I'm going to pick someone to do A and pick someone to do B. Otherwise, I say you can do B and then nobody tries A because you think you're just going to be able to do B. And then you don't do A. Okay. So, Oratilwe, can you do A for us? All right, Oratilwe is going to do A for us.
Okay, ma'am. So the first thing I did was I added 42,31 in a column. And then I added 46, 6, but then I added a 0, ma'am. So then 1 plus 0 equals 1, and 6 plus 3 equals 9, 4 plus 2 equals 6, and 4 plus 0 equals 4, ma'am. So my answer was 46,910.
Or 91, yes. Okay, 991. Okay, so remember we just say the digits after the decimal. We don't call it a 91 because it's 91 hundredths. Okay, so carry on. Sorry, hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. There's someone who's not muted. Guys, please, I don't want to have to put you on permanent mute. Please make sure you're muted unless you're answering a question. Okay. Sorry, my darling, go for it.
Ma'am, then I added 6 plus minus 6, 6, 082. And then I added a 0 to the 9191, ma'am.
Good.
And then 10 minus 2 equals 8.
Oh, okay. So
I
you
needed to borrow,
borrowed.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I borrowed from the other number, which was 10. And then I borrowed from the other number, ma'am, which was 8. Ma'am, and then 10 minus 2 equals 8.
Yeah.
10 minus 8 equals 2. 8 minus 0 equals 8.
Good.
6 minus 6 equals 0. And 4 minus nothing equals 4, ma'am. So my
Good.
answer is 40, 828.
Or remember, how do we say it after the comma? 8 to 8.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Well done. Very
Well
good job.
done. That was
Really
good.
proud of you. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get in the chat? Can I get a thumbs up if you managed to get that right? Okay, so thumbs up if you managed to get it right. You can do a thumbs down if you didn't get it right. And if you know where you went wrong, then you can do a sideways thumb. So if you got it wrong, but you saw your problem, then you can do a sideways thumb.
Ma'am,
Okay, yes.
ma'am, what if you did the first number and the last number together?
So 42,31, and then do what with the 6,082?
Plus 6,082.
But you can't, because look what this is. This is a minus.
Yeah,
So you have to subtract it.
okay.
Okay, and we can't jump around in the sum. So we have to do it in order. That's why we have order of operations. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. I see that we need to go over this a bit more. All right. So order of operations says that we need to do things in a specific way. Okay. And so we first have to work out the addition. After we've worked out the addition, the first part of the sum, then we can work out the second part of the sum. Okay. So after we've worked out the adding part, then when we got that answer, then we can take away what we need to take away. In the last lesson, we tried doing it the other way around and it didn't work out. Our answer wasn't right. Okay. So first we do the addition in this one, because the addition came first, we do the addition first. All right. So those people who don't understand, okay, remember that we need to always go from left to right. When we only have adding and subtracting left, we do the first one first, and then we do the next bit. So first we have to add our numbers together, then we can subtract the subtraction part. Okay, so first we have to add, then we must subtract. Okay, in this one, because the adding comes first. So we have 42,31 plus 4,6. And then because I don't like having an empty space, I just stick a 0 under the 1, because the 0 at the end with a decimal doesn't matter. It means the same thing. Okay, now I can add just like I would normally add. So same as I would normally add, I just add. Okay, so 1 plus 0 is 1, 3 plus 6 is 9. Put my comma down. 2 plus 4 is 6. 4 plus nothing is 4. So that's the first part of my problem. That's the very first part of my sum. Okay, that's the very first bit that I do. Now that I've worked that bit out, now I can do the second part. And the second part is the subtracting. Okay, so this is my second part, and I can do that part now. Okay, so I'm going to subtract. I've got 6 units. So they go in my units column. 0, 8, 2. And because I don't like having nothing above the 2, I'm just going to put a 0 there as a placeholder. Okay, it's just going to help me not lose out on something. And now we subtract exactly the same way that we would normally subtract. Okay, It's identical as if there was no comma. It's exactly the same. 0 minus 2, I can't do it, so I have to borrow. That becomes 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. Now I've got 0 minus 8. I can't do 0 minus 8. So I need to borrow again from the 9. And I end up with 10. So 10 minus 8 is 2. Then 8 minus nothing is 8. Bring down my comma. 6 minus 6 is 0. And 4 minus 0 is 4. And that's how I get that answer. Now I've got no more operations left. I'm completely and utterly finished with that one. Okay, so it is like BODMAS, yes. Okay, all right, so it's a lot like BODMAS. We use BODMAS and it's just the same as adding and subtracting. All right, it works exactly the same way as adding and subtracting. Okay, if your hand is up. Oh, have you got a question?
Ma'am, I had a question, but ma'am, I kind of understand the question. Thank you.
Okay, good. Awesome. Jerome, have you got a question?
How do you know where to put the zeros? Because I keep on putting the zeros in places where it's not supposed to be.
Okay, that's a very good question. So I like that question. Well done. So when we've got a 3-digit number, so we've got 6 comma, oops, let's write 6,082. Okay, and maybe I've only got 2 decimal places here. Okay, then with decimals, all I do is I add a 0 to the end as a placeholder. So it always goes to the end. Okay, because this means I've got tenths. These are the tenths column, the hundredths column, and the thousandths column. And so it doesn't matter if I have a 0 on the end or not. If I can add 2 more zeros here, I can also add 2 more zeros there. Those zeros don't matter. They don't change anything. All right. So we always add the zeros right at the end of the decimals as placeholders. Okay, because they don't matter. The end ones don't matter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Motsibang?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Pleasure, my darling. Motsibang, have you got a question?
Hey, ma'am.
Hi, have you got a question? No.
No, ma'am. It's just that I'm saying sorry for being late on Monday.
Oh, don't worry. It's all good. It happens.
Yeah, and also now I don't know I don't know about adding and subtract. I know the adding, but I don't know the subtraction, and I don't know the new adding.
Okay, so don't worry. So you can watch Monday's lesson on the Watobe website, and then you'll be able to catch up with the adding and subtracting. Okay. But it just works exactly the same way as adding and subtracting whole numbers.
Okay, ma'am. But one thing, ma'am.
Yes.
What is the holiday club?
Can we talk about that at the end? Cap.
Okay, ma'am.
We'll talk about the holiday club at the end of the lesson. All right. Thanks,
Yes, ma'am. I'll
Motsibang.
mute now.
Thank you, my love. Apiwe, have you got a question?
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am? No.
Ma'am, I was about to ask Ms. if is it necessary to count the numbers after the comma?
No, because your commas in adding and subtracting, your commas just stay in one long line. Okay, so they just all go underneath each other. So you don't have to worry about the number of decimals underneath. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to try the next one. And let's see, can I get a hand? Mashudu, do you want to try the next one?
Ma'am, can I?
Mashudu got a hand up very fast. Okay, Mashudu, do you want to try the next one? Mashudu's gone quiet. I can't hear anything. Okay, I'm going to try the next hand, Asamahle. Asamahle, are you there? I can't hear Asamahle either. Asamahle? Okay, Jerome.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Who am I hearing?
It's Jerome.
Okay, Jerome. Tell us what's going on. What do we do?
So I wrote down the sum again. 9,344 minus 7,09. And then 4 can't minus into 4. So I borrowed from 3, put it on to 4, and then I say 14 minus 9, which is 5.
Good.
And then 2 minus 0 is 2,
Good.
comma 9 minus 7 is 2.
There we go. And our answer is 2,25. Excellent. Well done. Okay, can I get a thumbs up in the chat if you managed to get that one right, guys? So let's get a thumbs up in the chat if you managed to get that right. That's awesome. Fabulous. Hey, loving this. Okay. That's much nicer, guys. So it's a bit easier when we just have the one operation. Hey,
Yeah.
when we just have one thing that we have to add or subtract, is that a bit easier? Okay, there's no more for this one. We're going to do something else just now. I think I might do one more with you of these though, because I'm a little bit worried. This is quite an important one to understand. Are there those people who are struggling with subtracting? Okay, so I know that some people struggle with minusing quite a bit, with subtracting quite a bit. That is something that you're going to need to work on a little bit. All right. So we'll do another subtraction one now, and then you're going to need to practice your subtracting. And there was a lesson, I think we did a lesson on subtracting early on in the year. So you'll have to just go back onto Watobe and see if you can find a subtraction lesson. Okay. All right. So let's do one more subtraction one and see how well you manage that one. Okay. So I'm going to put it in here. Oh, I need a pen. I need to have my typing going. And we're going to try it here. We're going to say D or C actually, because it's not a D. And we're going to say 5,02 plus 6. No, let's not add. Minus 3,94. Let's give you a slightly trickier one to work with. Okay.
Can I do it, ma'am?
Letabo, yes, you can do it, Letabo.
Ma'am.
Okay.
Can I do it?
No, Letabo got there first.
Why Letabo?
He was too fast for you. Okay. All right.
Ma'am, can I do it?
Nope, Letabo is doing it. But you also need to do it. You're going to work it out on your head. You're going to work it out on your paper though. Okay. So everyone's going to work it out now quickly first. And then you can see if Letabo is going to be right or not. So we're going to see if Letabo is going to get it right. So everyone's working it out on their paper.
Ma'am, what does the question again?
It's on the board. It's 5,02 minus 3,94.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure.
Please. Wanna do it?
Nope. Hush. I love the eagerness, but we've got someone. There'll be more sums to do later. Okay, one more minute for those people who are still busy working it out.
Can I do C?
There isn't, no, we've got someone for C already.
Okay.
What about D?
There isn't a D for yet,
We can edit.
but there's gonna be some more later. Okay. All right. So hands down for now. Hands down for now. And let's hear it. Who was my volunteer again? Where's my volunteer gone? My volunteer disappeared.
Ma'am, I'm here, ma'am.
There you are. Okay, cool. Let's see. What do we have to do?
Okay,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
go.
Okay, ma'am. I said, ma'am, 5,02 minus 3,94.
Okay.
Then I said, ma'am, I said 2 minus 4. It will not happen, ma'am. Then I went next door, and ma'am, I cannot borrow from there. Then I went next door, ma'am, to borrow. So it became the 5 became a 4. Then I went back to the
Yep. Went back to
the
0, yeah.
and it became a 1, the 2, ma'am.
Okay, so now we give 1 to the 0. So he becomes
And-
10, and now we can borrow from the 10.
Yes, ma'am.
And now we can
And
give 1 to the 2. Good.
yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Then I said 4 minus 12 minus 4, ma'am, equals 8, ma'am.
Good.
Then I said 9 minus 9 equals 0.
Good.
And 4 minus 3 equals 1.
Excellent.
Ma'am.
And your
And the
answer
answer,
is?
ma'am, is 1,08.
Brilliant.
done.
1,08. That is fabulous.
done.
Good job. And that was a difficult one with the
Ma'am.
borrowing. Okay. So guys, well done if you got that one right. That was a tricky one. I gave you a tricky one on purpose, the borrowing one, so we can practice borrowing. Okay. Remember, if our top number is smaller than the bottom number, then we can't subtract. We have to go and borrow from our next door neighbor. Okay. So if the top number is too small, if the top number is smaller than the bigger number, then we have to go and borrow from the next door neighbor. Okay. All right. Guys, can we move on a little bit?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okie dokie. Right, we're going to move on.
Yes.
So I'm going to suggest that you have a little stretch. Okay, so stand and have a little stretch if you need to. And we're going to go into multiplying again. We're going to carry on with multiplying. We started it last lesson. Okay, just to make you guys happy, we'll do some more multiplying. Okay, so stand and have a little stretch. Have a little wriggle. Right, I'm glad to see that you are getting into my wriggling.
Download.
Okay, stand and have a wriggle. Have a stretch. That was a very deep sigh.
Participant 65.
Okay, we don't all need to be sighing. All right, just one sigh was enough. Okay, I know it's end of term and we're all tired. And our brains are all tired. No one
It's
is
end of term.
RUG. It's right. It's are you good? Hey, even Otopi like me understands. Old lady knows. Okay, RUG means are you good? Right. How you doing, in other words? Okay. We've already done fractions. Firstly, we did fractions a little while ago. You'll have to go back and look for the lessons. Okay, so we'll have to go and look for the fraction lessons on the Watobe website. because I think we did about 6 lessons on fractions. Right. Okay. So let's get back into mathematic. Let's go and do some maths. Right. We're going to do some more multiplying. Okay. So when we multiply our decimals, right, when we think about it from Monday, it wasn't last week, it was Monday, we're going to first look. So the first step is look at how many decimal places there are all together. Okay, so how many decimal places are there together in the sum? And in this one, I've got 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So I've got 3 numbers behind the commas. Okay, I've got 3, so it's 3 decimal places. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that down so that I know my answer must also have 3 decimal places. Okay, so first I look how many numbers are after the decimal commas all together in my sum, and then I know that's how many I need in my answer. Okay, now my next step, I'm going to throw the commas away. Okay, I'm going to chuck those commas away and go, cheerio, don't like you anymore, don't need you for now. And I'm going to multiply the way I normally multiply. Okay, so I'm going to say 3, oh, I've forgotten the sum. Old lady brain working again. 342 times 21. Oops. 342 times 21. And I do my multiplication sum. Okay, just the way I normally would. So if you use column method, use column method. If your teacher uses a different way with you, then you do your teacher's way. Okay, so we say 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 3 is 3. And now because I'm multiplying by 20, I put a 0 on the end. And I say 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 3 is 6. And I add them all together. And I get 2, 8, 1, carried on, 7. So I got 7,182. But I worked out that I needed to have 3 decimal places in my answer. So I start counting at the back and I go 1, 1, 2, 3, and then I put my comma in my answer. And so my answer is actually 7,182. Okay, so first I look to see how many do I need all together in the beginning. Then I forget about my comma completely. I work out my times sum. And then I look to see how many do I need. I needed 3, so I count from the back. And I go 1, 2, 3, and I put in my comma. Okay, and that's how I multiply decimals. Okay, so as long as you can remember that your answer must have the total number of decimal places, you will be absolutely fine with multiplying. And if you know your times tables, that also helps. Okay, so I'm going to let you practice one quickly. I'm going to make it small-ish so that you can still see the example on the screen. There you go. You should still be able to see that. Okay.
Ma'am, we can do both of.
So now you're going to do A and B for me. And I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Okay, for A and B. So everybody I'm going to put everyone's hands down for them. And
1, 2, 8, please.
nope, no one's talking to me now unless you have a question. If you have a question about how to do the work, then you can
Ma'am,
talk to
I have
me.
a question, ma'am.
All right, what's your question?
I have a question, please.
Ma'am, yesterday, yesterday when we were doing the multiplying decimals, ma'am, I got the sum A wrong, ma'am, because I forgot to add the 0, ma'am, after times in the first number, ma'am.
Ah, okay, so it's a time zone problem. I'm glad you figured that one out. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Very glad you
ma'am.
figured that one out. Yes?
Now, how does 6 change to 7?
Because I had 3 plus 8, and 3 plus 8 is 11. So I put down my 1, and I carried my 1. And then I said 1 plus 6 is 7.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. May I please answer A?
And I answer B.
All hands are down. All hands are down, and no one's asking me if they can answer anything until I say, put your hands up. Okay.
Ma'am, may I please go a little bit down?
Can I answer A?
No one is now asking me if they can answer anything. Okay. No one asks me anything unless you have a question about the work. Jerome, have you got a question about the work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's your question?
For multiplying, doesn't matter which way we go, because if there's two, if we double digit, there's two of them. Which way do we go? Left to right or right to left?
So you always start with the units. So if you put these on top of each other, then you'd say 12 times 23, and you always start in your units column with your multiplying. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. And it doesn't matter if you go the other way around. If you do 23 times 12, that's also fine. Okay, Buffle, have you got a question about the work?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question, ma'am. With the decimal places, does it, so if it's one decimal place, do you only count once?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Pleasure. Kyle, have you got a question?
Yes, ma'am. May I please go down so I can see C and D, please?
There we go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Pleasure. Lesejo, have you got a question? You need to unmute. I can't hear you, Lesejo. Okay, Lesejo's hand is down. Lesejo, you can type your question if you want to. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we're gonna go in. Even if we just do A and B, let's see if we can mark a couple of them. All right. So in 30 seconds, right? Who wants to do A? Hands up if you want to do A or B. Oh, Nima had her finger on the button, and Nkazeza, you had your hand on the button. So you're going to do B for me. Right. So A is Nima and B is Nkazeza. Right. I hope I'm saying your name right. Okay. So Nima, talk to us.
I have two decimal places. I'm just going to keep that in my memory. And you already put them on top of each other. Then I go 3 times 2 is 6. Then I go 3 times 1 is 3. And then I put my magic 0 underneath the 6. And then I go 2 times 2 is 4. And then I go 2 times 1 is 2 and add. So 0 plus 6 is 6. 3 plus 4 is 7. Add my comma because those are two decimal places. And then 2 plus 0 is 2.
Good. And so my answer is 2,76 with a side of toddler chatting. All right. So it is 2,76. Well done. Because I needed 2 decimal places. Sounds just like my house. Okay. With 2 decimal places. And so my answer needs to have 2 decimal places. All right. Well done. Good job, Nima. Thank you very much. All right. Nkazeza, do you want to do B for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Talk to me.
Okay, so I found 2 decimal places.
Good.
And then I said 49 times 51. So then after that, I then said 9 times 1 is 9, 4 times 1 is 4. Then I added my
then I added my 0.
Mhm.
Then I said 9 times 5 is 45. Put the 5 and then put the 4 over there. Then I said 4 times 5 is 20 plus 4 equals to 24. Then I added that and I got 2,499. And then I counted from the back and said 2 decimal places, and the answer is 24,999.
Good. Okay, so I needed 2 decimal places at the end. So I count 1, 2, and I get 24,99. Well done. Excellent.
done.
Very, very proud of you. Good job. Can I see? I just want to see a show of hands. So you can raise your hands. Chance everyone gets to raise their hands. Okay. Raise your hand if you starting to feel comfortable. So even if you didn't get them right, but you're starting to feel comfortable with how to do this, and it's starting to make sense with you, then you can raise your hand for me so we can see how many people are managing to understand it.
No.
Yes, who's mamming me? Okay, awesome. All right, you can lower your hands again.
No.
Yes.
I don't understand everything.
What don't you understand? I'm struggling to hear you. What are you? Okay, can you type a question in the chat if you've got a question? Okay, so if you have a question about how to do this, then what you first need to do is watch the lesson from Monday. It's on the Watobe website because we did this on Monday as well. And then you're going to practice, okay? And the biggest trick is to remember how many decimal places there are altogether in the sum, and that will be how many decimal places must be in your answer. Okay, so however many decimal places there are in the sum, that's going to be in your answer. So if we look at C, how many decimal places have I got altogether in C?
1.
I've got
I've
1.
got 2, ma'am.
It's 2.
It's 2.
It's 2. So my answer needs to have 2. Okay. And if I have a look at C, or D rather, I've got again 2. So my answer must have 2. All right. Okay. Guys, we're going to stop here because it is our favorite time of Wednesday. It is quiz time.
Quiz time.
Hey. So those of you who are new, so everyone just stay muted. If you're new, okay, on Wednesdays, we do a short little quiz. It's a quick quiz, not too quick though. It's a quick quiz. And we just seeing what we're able to do and what we still need some practice on. So it's for me to see what you can do and for you to see what you can do and what you need some practice on. Now, there's a trick to it. All the questions are multiple choice. So we give you A, B, or C that you must choose from, or it's a true and a false. And you have to choose if it's true or if it's false. Now, the trick is that you mustn't guess. Okay, no guessing is allowed. You need to work the answers out on paper and then choose the correct answer. So there's no guessing allowed, please. You need to work out the answers. Okay, if I see people finishing in like 1 minute or 2 minutes, then I'm going to know that you didn't do the working out properly. And remember, I can see how long it takes you to answer every question. Okay, so yes, Lottie, I can see it all. Okay, I get a report that tells me how long everyone spent on each question. All right, so we take our time and we work it out slowly on paper, and then we choose the correct answer. Okay, so those people who know how to do the quiz, as soon as Teacher Kat has put the quiz link up, then you can leave the Zoom meeting and you can go and do the quiz. All right, people who are stuck, then you stay in the room and
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
going to, Nima, that's an excellent idea. Then we'll help you in the room. Okay, we'll help you on Zoom. So Teacher Kat, over
Okay,
to
ma'am.
you.
All right, everyone. Now you can't chat anymore. Okay, so you can see my link. There we go. The link is up. If you know how to access it, then go to the quiz and you may go. And good night and see you next week. But if you need help, I'll be here to help you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye, ma'am.